it looks like there's about 6 or 7 of us in the board. If you guys want to come over here where I am, my name is Carol. I live in LA. I work at Electronic Arts. I'm a UX designer, and I work in first-person shooters here where I am. And for our warm-up, our intro, our icebreaker, it would be great to know those things about you. So like we have a bunch of little Post-its over here where you can put, it's right next to the intro dot, where you can come over here and grab a Post-it, write the name, write your industry, put what your career goals are, and just to get us started, some career anxieties or challenges, because that's like what we're going to be exploring. Again, if anybody can't get into it, we have the link in the chat, and like just let us know. Yeah, let's see. We got Karen. Thank you, Karen. Karen's filled it out. Laura, thank you. I guess I'll do one too. I'll do mine. Carol. And like we also have, I'm kind of just like the beginning icebreaker, hello, which is like just sort of loose. But we have like 2, 3 other facilitators, right? So if you guys want to introduce yourselves, that's great too. Feel free. This is a perfect time to do that.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sint. I'm a product manager working currently in the innovation lab at Modus. Career goals are, I would say, probably growth in product. And I also want to get promoted. And I also really want to keep working in products that I love, which is in the consumer space. Anxieties and challenges, probably in terms of challenges like leadership skills. I think something that I'm working towards building more of. I also feel like the remote work is great, getting the hang of it. Just want to see how long I can last in that work style, because I tend to be overworking a lot. So I'm like checking myself in a lot more. And also any other anxieties, probably just keeping up with change in tech. I think it's really demanding. It's hard. We're always like pressured to be on top of things, not just at work, but also our skills and experiences. So that's something that I would call it career anxiety.
Thank you for that. I guess I didn't share my career goals and anxieties. Mine are, my goals are exposure. So that's why something like this is really great for me, is to like get used to talking to groups of people and start to build recognition as a UX expert. But then my anxieties tend to be trust in and having like a day-to-day with my team. I've had some rough experiences lately in my career, and I thought it was me, and then I like went through a lot of growth and like found a lot of confidence building. But now I'd like to continue on with surrounding myself with people I love to work with. So this is what I'm working on.
I can go next if no one else wants to.
Please.
I'm Nive, and my industry right now is I'm in tech. I'm a software developer. I'm looking to break into product management. So I guess that would be my short-term career goals. And my anxieties and challenges are actually doing it and doing it outside my company, because it's really hard to do it internally, which I know is like the more prescribed method. And also, I think coming from an engineering background, it's you're very heads down on your work, like when you do your work. And so when you move into product, you can't really get stuff done that way. So networking, kind of like what you said, Carol, and just like I've been doing that a lot the past couple months, and just getting out of my comfort zone and actually having the transition and having someone take a chance on me. I think those are my anxieties and challenges.
Oh, It's really awesome that you're here. Thank you for being here and doing it right now.
For sure. This is awesome.
We have a lot of great stuff filled out. You guys are getting a chance to look at each other's post-its. One of the best things about Miro is that you can kind of like wander around and see other people's notes and stuff, which is pretty cool. Since we're using Miro as a platform to connect here. Oh, you can also drop emojis. I'm going to drop emojis on people. Oh, Tim's learning skateboarding. That's cool. How's it going?
It's been great. I started 2 weeks ago, and I just love the entire experience of learning something new for the first time, struggling through the moves and reminding myself that, it's part and parcel of the learning process, and then learning to be patient with myself. So I learned a lot more about myself in that process, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I feel like
Sorry. I guess since I started, I just share a bit about what's going on in my world, if that's okay.
yes.
Yeah, so I'm currently working as a full-time career coach at a university in Sydney. So my day-to-day is really much talking to heaps of students and running workshops as well. And so I'm a big fan of Miro because, as you can see, right, visually it's just amazing where you can really bring people together in a kind of meeting place. And that's where I have been trying to intentionally incorporate Miro into my workshop. And now I start to ditch more slides and use more Miro. So I'm running one tomorrow, which I'm really excited about. I guess my anxiety has been more about the feeling of isolation and disconnected with the broader team, as I've been working from home since March last year. Previously, I always enjoy having a conversation in the pantry or when I pump into my colleagues, right, when I fill the water and we start talking, and that's where all the innovation or all the new changes happen actually. And now it's really hard to be able to replicate that with working from home, because every meeting now just seems like more work to do, but not really much connections. And so my secret ambition is thinking about how can we bring more human and fun into remote workplace and also into students' learning experience. Yeah, so that's kind of what's on my mind at the moment in terms of my career goals.
Awesome.
Yeah, it goes with this tool perfectly.
Yeah, Timothy, thanks for sharing. Again, we really want to learn from all of you and interested to hear each person's story. I feel like we can learn a lot. Well, now we're going to move on to our next section of the workshop. So if you glance downwards, as you know, we have like a pro tips here. And I just want to make a quick little plug here that if any of you have heard of Simon Sinek, this is also a reference to the Golden Circle and What's Your Why? It's a great book. Has anyone heard of this book or has the book or has read it already? Just curious. So essentially what Simon Sinek talks about is the emotional side of as human beings, and neurologically, a lot of times we're so focused on like what we do and what do you do and what is your title, what's your company, and then it's like, so what is the product later, how do I do that and what makes me different. But a lot of the times we're not asking why and what is that purpose and for whom and what is that impact that we want to make. So I just wanted to mention this as a side note, just to cite this source. Now, if you follow me to the Identify and Understand Career Challenges, we have approximately 10 minutes here. So if you can see the two purple boxes here, let's go ahead and fill out the post-it notes here. As you can see, on the left has current state and career, and on the right, ideal career goals. We have already mentioned some of them, but just to see a visual of like, where are we currently at now and where do you want to be? So let's just take a few minutes now to share that and let us know if you have any questions, if there's anything you want us to clarify.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if you want me to start the timer, Jenna.
Yes, please. Thank you,
Okay,
Sid.
cool. And we'll do it for 10 minutes. And if you guys finish early, let us know. And let's keep chatting on the chat whenever you're done.
Can I ask what the sorry, what the difference is between the goals and anxieties? And also, or can I just see like examples of what you mean? Like maybe one of you can go.
I think I did share goals and anxiety.
I mean, like, how is the current state and ideal career goals different from what we shared before? That's what I was asking.
I think this is like where you are, like
Okay,
your current
what's
state.
want to be?
Okay, so I see we have 5 minutes. So feel free. Again, we can always come back to this. We also want to stay in touch with everyone and keep this an ongoing conversation. So no pressure. But feel free. And I again, we really appreciate everyone being vulnerable and authentic and sharing what you're going through. And we just met, so this is great. So I'm gonna take a look and feel free if anyone has any thoughts, comments, just things that you're starting to see as far as insights or like what different journeys everyone's going through. I'm noticing here on current state, we have people, so congrats, 2 months into your first job. Intern, trying to determine my first full-time role, what that looks like. Current state, working a stable and comfortable job, but struggling with team culture and getting things done. Finishing a UX program, want to take transferable skills from current role into the first role. We have also working 100% remote. Oh, I see the one with the side hustle and drowning. Wow, so congrats to a lot of people who are starting in this a new path. Recent hire in my dream field and figuring it out. Does anyone want to comment or share just from when we're looking at the current state or anything that's dawning on people or calling out to people? And if not, that's okay. But it's just what I see here with this unique group is that it is an exciting time. And I think when we're talking about coaching, I'm sure you know about this, Timothy, that like coaching is really about coaching people from a state to move somewhere. And that's always goals, but it doesn't necessarily mean we're in a negative space or a state as of now. It could be just advancement. So it can always be positive of just keep growing.
I just want to say I can relate to the one about working in a stable job but struggling with a culture fit and getting things done. I'm in the same kind of situation right now with my team, where like I really like the company, but I just feel like my way of doing things is so different from theirs that I'm looking for other jobs now. But I wish, like if I could develop skills to like convince people of the value of my way of doing things, like I'd absolutely love that. But I've been looking for like resources for over a year and finding like nothing. So I'm like, okay, maybe time for a different challenge first.
Interesting. And yeah, let us know what resources you're looking for. We can see what we can do. I know this is an innovative group and we can see how we can help each other. Anyone else have any other thoughts or have done observations have dawned on them?
I just wanted to say, Tara, right? I'm going through something similar. And I just feel like the imposter syndrome is super real because I'm like, oh, everyone else is right. I'm not. And I basically lost my confidence at this point. So I'm just like, and I'm also not a product manager. I'm trying to transition. So I think I put it in one of my, like, that's the really long Post-it note that I put. That like I have a full-time job as a mobile engineer. I'm also like networking, applying, studying to transition. I'm also doing a side project for product management. And I'm also like, I also have like food photography on the side. So there's a lot going on.
Ooh,
and I'm
that's
just
so
like,
awesome.
I'm about to drown also because the team is not as supportive. It's like, it's easier to work in a full-time job when your team is supportive, but then I'm just like, there's no confidence, but I'm also trying to like make this major career change, and confidence is very important for that. So it's interesting.
I can relate so much to that. Sorry, what was your name again? Like, I can't see who's talking on my phone.
No worries, I'm Nive.
Nive. Okay, yeah, I feel like we're kind of in a very similar situation. My last two jobs have really killed my confidence too, because I find that I work really well in collaborative environments, and like I worked well individually, but now I've kind of hit a wall with like being able to advance fast enough with that skill. Like I find that I was able to keep up just with hard work and drive, but now I'm at a point where I'm like, I don't want to put in like all the extra hours to meet these expectations at doing something that's not even like my strength. But yeah, like that expectation's there at my job, and I'm trying to switch to do something else on the side. I love that you're
stressful.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we should definitely connect. Like, here, let me drop my LinkedIn.
I am loving this. Yes, please, everybody, feel free. We got like a minute or so. I'm just going to comment a little bit, and we'll come back to this at the end about ideal career goals. I see here going into strategy, building influence. Oh yeah, time's up. By being a good support, working to become senior business analyst, live the digital nomad life. Really cool. Clear picture of the areas I'm learning about. Product manager, working one job, combining interests, designing meetings, surfing, skateboarding, managing a team. Really interesting. I like that, again, we're all connecting, as well as we all are have very diverse backgrounds and paths and goals as well. Well, now we're going to hand it over to Sint, and she's going to share a little bit more about the archetypes, kind of what you've already seen until now, and also she'll talk about the 5 whys. So Sint, you can go ahead and take it away.
Okay, hi guys. So I just wanted to kind of go through the personas, the proto personas, before we look into the 5 whys. Mostly just to give more context of like these people or these types of people that you guys might resonate to. And if you don't, that's totally fine as well. They're just kind of for us to have some sort of data or kind of understanding before we do this kind of exercise. So proto personas, they are similar to personas, except they're a little bit different. They're a description of the target users. And usually you kind of craft them based on assumptions. So these don't have any research. I didn't, go and validate by talking to 5 new grads or career switchers or anything like that. They're just simply from some assumptions that I sat down, thought about, Googled a few things. Even that wouldn't be really called really good research because there's no data supporting it. So we have these 3 proto personas. The first one is the new grad. I just feel like in this type of finding your career why, I'm always constantly meeting new grads. And this was kind of this role that I felt like we could all relate. Or the other one is career switchers. And I'll go into the characteristics a little bit more. And then the third one is the career advancement, which I feel like is someone that I might relate to. And I feel like these are all transitions that we all go through in our career as well. So please do keep that in mind. And some of us may never be career switchers, and that's okay. But I do realize that we do, we all start off with being a grad. And the characteristics are knowledge of content. Yay, we graduated with all this amazing knowledge. We're also, I felt like a lot of grads that I'm seeing, or that I was once upon a time, curious and enthusiastic. I also feel like I have, or like new grads have, a basic understanding of like background to resolve simple to solve questions. I know that everyone has computer skills, so new grads are especially with this whole like remote study work. I think they're probably kicking ass, and they all have some sort of student loan debt that I feel like is something that I would describe like a characteristics based on some assumptions. So some of the goals I feel like for new grads, they're always trying to get work experience, continuously building a portfolio. They want to build skills. They're also trying to seek to do passion project work, whether it's like artwork or whether it's like some sort of creative stuff, or sometimes it's even like technology, whether it's AI or Bitcoin or whatever. They're always leaning towards something that they really want to do. And I think that's great. But then they have zero to little network. And I think that's also very normal. And I think we all come out of university with like, I don't know, 200 LinkedIn connections. I don't know if you're lucky. So the next one is the career switchers. So their characteristics of a career switcher, and this is again based on assumptions. We're preparing to try something new. They're super passionate and curious about the unknown. I feel like these group is like willing to take the risks. I feel like they have a lot of grit. Whether it's like something they built upon from their past job, if it's like a toxic job or just some sort of like hardships that they went through. Self-starter, always trying to learn on their own, side projects, lots of research, taking courses. And then I feel like they do have somewhat financial stability because they're not like a new grad where they didn't have a job and they're not like, they've never had that work experience to earn that income. So I feel like in these career switchers, they do have financial stability. And they're mostly thinking about leaving their full-time job to, find something that is more meaningful and rewarding. So I feel like that's the career switchers characteristics. Some of the goals, they want to explore new career paths. Second, want to land a new job in a different industry. I constantly hear that as well. Or sometimes they just want to land a new job in a different domain. I'm not sure if that's the same thing as a different industry. They also want to do impact-driven work, and then they want to find a high-paying job. Some people still are aiming to do that as well. And then the last proto persona is the career advancement. Her characteristics in this example, she's very ambitious, she has a growth mindset, she's curious, high achiever, has a professional brand. Probably one of the things that she's working towards is wanting to seek leadership opportunity that aligns with skills and experience. She wants to find a better compensation package. She also wants to mentor others. And then she has like a medium to large network that she's trying to grow in this case. So now that we have a little bit of understanding of some of the characteristics of some of these groups that are in our society trying to figure out this career why, let's go and figure out why our own career whys. Okay, using the 5 whys exercise. So the 5 why exercise is just a problem solving method, and we use it anytime we wanted to understand the root cause of a problem. And you probably could do this at work. I often like sit down and think about certain things, and I don't do it just till 5 times. I do it until I get to the problem. So the beauty is you start with the problem you're facing, and then you keep asking why until you get to the root problem. And so what we wanted to do in this workshop exercise is for you guys to choose a question from one of the 4 that we brainstormed, and picking up a column. You pick your question. If I could, is it locked? Oh dear. It's fine. Can we unlock this?
If
Okay.
you long did it unlock, if you press it, Sint,
Yeah, I got it.
and then Okay, great.
Yeah, so just pick one question and then go through the 5 whys. So you can just copy paste would be the easiest. You pick your sticky and then you can start with your question, which is way bigger than what I have. And then you just go through the 5 whys. And then I can give you my example, which was something that I did before our workshop. So I just wrote my current state, which was at the top that I brainstormed with you guys, and then my ideal career state. So I started with this question because I often struggle whenever there's so many jobs out there and lots of products to manage, lots of products to fix. And then there's all these great industries. Sometimes I get lost in the postings and stuff, and I forget like which ones I actually want to do and stuff. So I think one of the most important things was for me to figure out was what value do I bring to a company? And based on that, I would start filtering out the job posts. And it made me feel a bit more focused, as well as easier dialogue during interviews. So what I started with is what value do I bring to a company? I started thinking, why do I need to think about this value that I'm bringing to the company? And then I thought of wicked product management problem solving skills was something that I had to offer as a value. And then I started thinking like, okay, why, do I want to have this value, this problem solving product management skills as a value? Well, I started thinking, well, because I enjoy diving deep into data. And then it was like, why do I actually want to dive deep into the data? Then I felt like I feel mostly fully satisfied when I can find ways to move metrics by a needle. So that was something that, I felt like the need for me to work with data was because I really enjoy increasing some sort of metric in my job. And then I started thinking like, why do I want to move this metric by a needle? What was this desire that I had? And then I felt like, oh, it's because I wanted to build products that drive business impact. Like I didn't want to just build cool things. I actually wanted to see the metric move up. And that was because I wanted to see the business impact. And then I started thinking like, why do I want to see this business impact? And then it was like, it's because I want to be a part of a growth of a product or a business or a company. And that was something that where I wanted to work for, or what I wanted to keep working towards, finding that fit. And then the root cause was I just really wanted to be a leader who could drive business outcomes. And that was the reason, my values for that company. But I wouldn't have known unless I went through this. And you can have various, I guess you could say, answers any time of the day, whenever you are curious and you're thinking about this. If I do this again tomorrow, I might have a different answer, and that's okay. And you can keep all your answers somewhere and have them ready whenever you are doing an interview, or whenever you're writing your cover letter, or whenever you feel like you doubt yourself and kind of think like, oh, I want to give up. I don't really know what I'm doing anymore. You can always read these and, make yourself like reassure that you're kind of doing it for a really good reason. So that was my whys for that sticky. And I really wanted us to do that. So I was hoping that we could spend maybe 5 minutes. Of course, it's not fair to do that. So take some time off this workshop to go through that exercise yourself. And honestly, you can ask any questions to yourself. It doesn't have to be these 4. So step 2 is pick one of this 5 why chart, and we'll go through the exercise. Okay, cool. So I'm going to start the timer, and we'll maybe do 5 minutes. If anyone wants to share, we have some time. I can give 5 minutes. If anyone wants to share their 5 whys. I know it's going to be different if you do it again, and that's totally normal. But I think the more you do it, the more you're like in touch with yourself and why you want to do this or that. There's a question somebody raised, Fonita.
Hi, it's Panetta. No, I was saying I'll go if you need a volunteer.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your 5 whys.
Okay, so my starting question is, what is your ideal career state? I like this exercise. I've done the 5 whys for like UX design, but never for myself. So I like this. So this is my attempt at doing this. So my why is the why is, maybe I didn't do this right. What is your ideal career state? Okay, moving into a creative role. And it's because I want to fulfill my interests and long-term career goals. Why? Because I want a job that taps into my passion for design, because I won't feel fulfilled otherwise. Why? Because I think a job is a big part of my identity, because I spend a lot of time working and I want to get greater satisfaction than just having a 9 to 5. Why? Because I went to school to be more than what I'm doing now. Like, no offense to anyone that does what I do. I'm in a support role, but I never dreamed of being like someone's assistant. I have bigger dreams, and I still have time. So, and because I don't want just a job, I want career growth, and there was like no career progression, and you're just kind of stuck. So I'm a little more ambitious than just having a job for the rest of my life. Why? Because I have a lot of time ahead of me and I want to make it count, because following our passions and being successful is important. And the root cause is there's still time to be what we want to be and make a fresh start.
Oh, that's so great. I'm so humble to hear your 5 whys. I think they were super powerful. Had
Thank
goosebumps. And please reach out if you need help with anyone to connect with, or any job leads. I'm happy to give you some intros, and also hear more about your work. So we should connect on LinkedIn or something.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Anyone else wants to go next?
I could go. I don't think I did it correctly, but I can
That's
learn.
okay.
I did. What is your ideal career state? I think there's like a lot of whys, but I didn't know how to say it, so I'll just go through with this. So to eventually become a product leader, and then why to come up with a revolutionary vision to change people's lives. Why, and to change the way people live their daily lives, like Uber or Apple, things that they didn't even know they needed. But it's just such a big part of their lives. Why? For better convenience for users. What I was trying to say is just that there are so many things, like small things that could be automated, and figuring out what that is and doing that. Why? Like, again, to see how we can simplify daily tasks. And the root cause, I don't know if I did this correctly, but I just said I want to be a product leader or entrepreneur that changes people's lives. That's where I landed. Yeah.
Wow, that's so great. I think that's very strong, and you can always flesh it out more by asking either a certain sticky on one of your 5 whys, or go through the 5 whys even deeper. All right, I think we only have 10 minutes left. Jenna, should we move on?
Sure. It's well, again, thank you all for sharing this. And the next section, if you look to the right, we're just revisiting where we started from the beginning of today. So I was just curious. I know that we're short on time and these things go by so fast. Again, you can always come back to this board. Happy to reconnect with people and to stay in touch. But if any of you off the top of your head now would like to write something down to the section that says, how will you incorporate your why into your new career goals? So meaning, now that we've done this 5 whys, I mean, how can you get any deeper, right? It's just like digging deeper or uncovering layer after layer. What do you all think? What are some small actions we could take tonight, tomorrow, next week? What can we do in our day-to-days in our current state? And it might be a state that we don't want to be in, but what small things can we move towards the ideal state? So if you all want to write, we could still think big, but also practical. So you could take like a minute or two to write here. And if anyone also wants to verbally share, or you can share it writing in the chat. Any thoughts? Awesome. No, thanks everyone for sharing. Let's take a look here. And does anyone else want to share any takeaways, learnings, observations? Did you have, as you went into the why, did anything surprising happen? Maybe something you didn't expect, something different than what you originally thought?
I mean, I ended up realizing a lot of what I need to do is practice. I have a mantra I thought of a while back that was like, success is something other people set you up for. And I'm about to do maybe a job switch internally. And I went through the 5 whys. And at the end of it, I was like, oh, I guess what I really need to do is just practice leaning on other people setting me up and like let them decide what, not like, I mean, you got to make your own decisions about your career, but like let them like show me which doors they think I fit in, right? Which would be really nice on a new team. And like, if it's a team you can trust, you know, give them a chance to like be trusted. You know, that was cool.
Thank you for sharing, Carol. Anyone else? What were any observations or anything in the process? I mean, asking 5 whys is a lot. And I'm sure you're like, why? You know, it kind of makes me think of like a child like asking it, but it's that curiosity of asking very simple questions. But anyone else have any observations, learnings?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think go ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to add on what Carol mentioned about bringing other people together along the journey. I find that whenever we think about our own career, I myself have been thinking a lot in silos, like, oh, I have to be the one who fulfill all this big goal or this mission that I set out to do. But I realize that there are lots of other people around that might share the same struggle, that might have the same passion or mission, and it just take a bit more intentionality to reach out, to connect, and to start small. So I put there my key takeaways. I mean, have big dreams, but start with something really small, prototype more, get more feedback, and iterate forward instead of, you know, being overwhelmed with, you know, this huge mountain that you set for yourself. Yeah, so that's something I learned from today.
Fantastic. Well, I just wanted to say thank you everyone for joining in. Thank you, Jenna and Carol. Bravo Sint. Thank you for hosting such a wonderful workshop. We do want to keep the conversation going beyond this workshop. So if you haven't yet, we'd love to start even a LinkedIn chat group just to check in and see how you're doing, especially with this exercise, and if you have any questions in particular. And if folks liked it, please let us know. I'll kick it off to Natalie in just a second, but I think if folks would like, we could have these kinds of workshops on a more regular basis. Excuse me. The LA chapter, while it is more to the LA chapter, I think with the pandemic and everything, we've realized that Miro has so many capabilities beyond location, and so that's why we have such a wonderful international crowd tonight. And I think with that in mind, we want to capture the flavor of the people we want to support and the community, the vast community that we see through the Miroverse. So this is just the first step in what's ahead. And Jenna, Carol, any closing words before we, or Sint, any closing words before we pass it on to Natalie?
No, I just hope you all connect with each other. I think one of the goals for this workshop was that we could all like find almost like a buddy or someone we can relate to in our journey, who's exploring and who's also wanting to take actions and just to be a bigger self in their career journey. So feel free to do that, because I know some of our own personal friends might not be on the same journey, but that's why we have a community, and this is the first and beginning. That's it from me. Thanks everyone for coming, and passing it back to Natalie.
So I think Natalie actually had to run, and I know we're at time, but if any of you still have a few minutes, I want to keep improving as well. So if you have any comments, thoughts, ideas, totally open to feedback. I think, creativity, diversity, innovation happens with feedback and conversation and bringing people from all different backgrounds. If you look at the bottom left, it says survey knowledge. So if you want to drop a dot, it says, did you learn a lot but doesn't really apply to me? Learned a lot and can apply it all. Can apply the little that I learned, as well as post-workshop, what do you think? Accolades, improvement, suggestions. So if you have a few minutes right now, really appreciate you sharing. And you can also be like specific, or also we're open to feedback again, that we are thinking about doing this series to build off of this. So we're always growing, we're always building, open to suggestions, or this is for the community, this is for you. So how will we know? And again, everyone who works in product or user experience or design thinking, we do this for the users. So appreciate your thoughts. Let's see. And any other thoughts, Carol?
I mean, thank you so much for all your participation, guys. I know it was like this was a dense workshop. Like, we did a lot of writing together. It was like, it's really fun to like see everything you guys put down. I think, if I'm remembering correctly, there is a UX designer or two in here. So if you want to talk, someone who's been doing UX for a while, I'm available. So I just want to throw that out there. Also, I can talk about gaming, or talk about like what it feels like to be a UX designer who loves product managers. These are like things I can chat about. Want to talk?
Also, fun fact, I think all of us met digitally through the pandemic. That's the connection we have, through Miro, through Slack, through book club. So Miro is really a testament to how relationships and collaboration can really be built regardless of the space. So thank you for joining us on that little journey today.